A very good afternoon to everyone. I, Apurva, Project Officer on behalf of City University, would like to take pleasure of welcoming our expert speaker for today's session, Dr. Puneet K. Diwedi, who is Professor, Group Director, Modern Group of Institutes Indore, Chief Advisor and Mentor, Modern Incubator, as well as Chief Executive Officer at Atal Incubation Center. Without any delay, I would like to hand over the session to you, sir.
Thank you, Apurva, madam. I think I'm audible to you all.
Yes, sir.
So thanks to CT University team for organizing this program, this online session. I think it is on behalf of IIC, Institute Innovation Council of
Yes, sir.
University and Department CTU, I think CSC IT department. Okay. So directly coming to the topic, this is very, we are living in a very vibrant, environment nowadays, and where from schooling and till colleges and even after that there's a proper startup ecosystem in the country, and uh, people are coming up with wonderful ideas, and we are experiencing great change in the society. And in the same context, we are assembled here to discuss uh, the lean startups and the minimum viable products. That why how MVP and lean startups can be a great idea for the startup ecosystem. So I will only ask the questions, and I will only give the answers to you all, and you will be I think you're going to make a note of that, or you have going to keep in mind to understand the concept. So, what the founder's job? The first question is, what is the founder's job? Who is the founder? The founder of startup, and what is his job? The founder's job is, if he is starting any startup, it should be scalable startup. The first thing is, it should be scalable startup. If it is not scalable, that means the purpose is not fulfilled, and it is just for the formality. He has done a business, he has done something which is not very unique and which is not scalable. So first thing one have to keep in mind, if you all are students and if you are looking for any idea to convert the idea into a venture or a startup, the first thing you have to keep in mind, your idea should be scalable always. If it is scalable, then only it can be a great idea, it can be a great startup. And there should be always, between the the real business and scalable startup, there's one transition period. That also you have to keep, it is very important that you have to keep in mind. So don't get distracted. Your idea should be scalable. If the idea is scalable, then only you can start it, then only it is advisable to start. If it is not scalable, that means it has like we are studying in accounting, there are different concepts and conventions of accounting. The going concern concept, the business will keep going on and on and on. But here in this case, if it is not scalable, this business startup is not scalable, it means it is going to wind up after some time. So fundamentally we are wrong, we are not justifying the principles of accounting. So that thing also you have to keep in mind. So your startup should be always a scalable one, and it should be a real business, it should not be a virtual business. If what is the difference between the real business and virtual business? Sometimes we just say that there is some artificial earnings and all these we can create, but don't do that. It should be a real business, actual profit should be there, then only you can survive. So this is the founder's job, the founder of the company. It is his job to decide what is the earning and how, whether my startup will it is a scalable startup or not, and that thing one have to keep in mind. So, friend, the main very important aspect of lean startup is, what are the principles? You must know the principles of lean startup. And what for first term, what is lean startup? That also you have to know. Coming to lean startup, it is something which is as per the market need, you have modified your product. It is not your love, it is market's love. Market is liking that product. They are suppose they want the product in this shape, so you have designed this shape. If they want in some other shape, you have designed in some other shape. So lean startup is nothing but you are targeting the market. It is with respect to market, not with respect to your idea. Okay, it was your idea, but now it is market's acceptability. If market is accepting your idea and they are asking for your idea, your product, then it is called the lean startup. It's the process of developing product, or process of developing products for the either for the company or for the society. So they are the lean startup who are very target oriented, as they are looking for their clients. If I am the manufacturer of pen, I am manufacturing pen of the very thin shape like this. But if market is asking for a better pen of some thick, size, I can also produce this. So I am a lean startup. That means I have the that flexibility is there, and I am able to meet the society's norms. I am able to meet the society's need. So that is the basic of lean startup. So that we have to keep in mind. And one more thing, the lean startup was validated. It is a validated learning. It's just not only somebody saying, I want pen in this shape and you are just producing it. No, you have to validate it that whether it will work or not, whether there will be acceptability of this in other market or not. It is again the duty of founder of the startup to justify, to understand the concept and check the validity that whether it is workable or not. So what we have learned, the lean startup is the process of developing a product or company based on expressed desires of the market. It is totally up to the desire of the market. If market needs that product, we are ready to produce it. So we are the lean startup. We are the lean startup. Another very important thing is of the lean startup. The lean startup users validate learning. They study more, they think more, they think as per the market need, as per the future market demands, and as per the company's requirement, as per the consumer's requirement. They keep thinking, keep developing, keep validating their idea, and to produce a minimum viable product, the great product for the market. Lean startups method, they are very nowadays this concept is moving like anything. And coming to their principles, that also you have to know: nail it, then scale it. The term they're using is nail it, then scale it. If you want to scale up your idea, you want to scale up your business. Like I started my talk with the term, uh, founder's job is, what is the founder's job? Founder's job is to scale up the startup. So scaling possibility is there. So that same thing we are discussing here. It is a principle of a lean startup. And about that, nail it, then scale it. You have to study it properly. You have to, validate it properly. You have to see the market demand for the product, market demand for your idea, and acceptability. And then you can produce it. You can move ahead. So this is the first principle of the lean startup. The second one is rapid hypothesis testing about market, pricing, customers, market. So that is more important. Here they don't have time actually to think for a long time about their product. Actually, it is demand of the market, and they have to develop the hypothesis that whether the product will be accepted or not. And based on those hypotheses, they have to develop the product. They have very less time, very fast they have to move, very fast they have to develop the hypothesis of acceptability or not acceptability of their product, and to produce and to commercialize the same. So this is the thing in lean startup. Hypothesis testing is generally done very fastly. So this is also we have to keep in mind. And the third principle is minimum viable product. The principle of lean startup is the minimum viable product. You have to develop the best product in as per the standard for the industry, for the society, for the the stakeholders. Low burn by design, no scaling until revenue. Till you have to in case of lean startup, once you start earning out of the your idea, then only you can plan for the new designs, and you can invest more on advertisement and all these. Why? Because the market acceptability, you're not sure that whether the market is going to accept it or not. So that thing also you have to keep in mind, and you have to burn less on designing of the product. Once it is accepted, then you can design as for the different segments as per their need. Like they have done for shampoos, bottles, shampoos, sachets, small bottle, big bottle, likewise. So this is the as per the demand of the client, demand of the customers, you can plan. Then the matrix election and agile development is also needed. You have to be very much ready at any point of time to change, to do any change in your product. That is also a basic principle of a lean startup. So you can get some information from the market or some information from some of your clients that this design is not perfect, this is not working properly. Like we can take the help example of Harpic. Harpic shape, we know very it is very properly designed for the purpose. So that thing is it is the size and the shape has been changed. So why it is changed? Because it was from the market side, they have demanded that we need such type of shape so that we can use it, and it should be very user friendly and easy to handle. So likewise, that thing is also available in lean startup. Lean fast. So lean fast but fail fast also. That also you have to keep in mind. And here you can learn fast also, and but you can fail fast also. That also you have to keep in mind, because they are very dynamic in nature. Lean startups are very, they are looking at the market dynamics and how market is changing, and accordingly they are changing their strategies, they are changing their packages, they are changing their branding part, and they are the way of propagating about the product. So this sometimes this fails also. That also we have to keep in mind. So this is the basic of lean startup. They are the startup only, but they have some different nature. And the minimum viable product, why it is important that we have one must keep in mind. Nowadays the time is changing like anything. Today we have seen the news, uh, Bangalore crisis, that there are more IT people, but we have seen today it was in the news. Bangalore needs civil people, civil startups, not IT startups. So why it is? Because of the heavy rain in the city. This thing is there. Now what is the opportunity? What type of things we can do? What we can mold? That also one have to keep in mind. Why we are going to choose, or why we are choosing this lean startup? Because it saves time and money. Because we are not traditional startup, or we are very fastest moving and with very uh, great energy with the team of horses only, and we don't want to leave a single stone unturned. So that's what we are focusing more and more on, the market need, the market demand, and the market acceptability. And based on that, we are changing our decisions. So it save time, sometime also save money also, and but sometime it is very costly affair also, because we are spending more and more on. Actually, we don't know how much will be the size of expense, but and based on the demand of the market, now we have to change the entire strategy. And when we are going to change entire strategy, it costs a lot. Sometimes it causes failure for the startup also. So that also we have to keep in mind. So it should grow in your mind always. The imagination part should be always, that we are using the term critical thinking process, should be always on in your mind while planning for any lean startup. And it needs lot of experiments. Lot of experiment is required. You cannot say that I am the lean startup, I am very volatile, I'm very aggressive for the market strategies, and I'm only providing the things what actually market wants. That is good, but when we are experimenting a lot, and when we are experimenting always, then sometime it becomes very tough for the startup owner also, startup founder also, because they are not able to meet the funds and funds requirement, and they get failed. So these are some important aspects about the lean startup. They are good, but the thing is, you have to be very cautious, and full of funds with you, and good support from the venture capitalist or anybody who is supporting you. So that is the thing that we have to keep in mind. One more important thing that keep in mind: lean startup practices experimentation is favored more than the rapid plan. Just now we have discussed more experiments. So they are just experimenting that if the customer is liking the product like in this flavor or in the salty flavor, can we go for the sweet flavor also or khatta meeta flavor also, or we can change according anything else? Is it possible to do so? So like they are more into experimentation. Sometimes they are when they are more into experimentation, people like them more or they are liking their products, but sometimes they may get fail also. So this is the crux of this lean startup, that they are like they are vultures. They are like just they are looking at the market need and what market actually wants. And before, when market says what we want, before they understand what actually market want, and they start experimenting on that, they start producing their product accordingly as per the market need, and they start experimenting, they start launching the products, commercializing it. And sometimes they may get failed, but they are very aggressive in nature, and this is they are more into experimentation. So this is the thing that it's a founder's job to search for the minimum viable product. And minimum viable product with context to lean startup, when we are talking, again I'll come to the same point: it should be scalable, then only the minimum viable product can be attained, otherwise not. And there should be, in the transition period, if you're not able to meet up, if you're not able to meet up your needs, financial needs, or manpower need, or any strategic need you want, and you're not able to perform the real business, you will not be going to survive in this dynamic and highly volatile startup ecosystem. So in the case of lean startup, so that is also a very important thing. And what is required for that? Suppose if you want to scale up your startup, what is more important? You must know about the customer's need. If you are unknown about the customer's need, you are not able to you don't ever think about the scaling up your startup. So that you must be very much aware about the your customers, who are your customers, and what is their need. The second very important point is the feature set. You are not able to understand what feature they have and what type of test they have, what type of liking they have, disliking they have. If you're not able to know about their customers features, their choices, so that again it will be tough for you, and you will not be able to scale up your startup. And when you're not able to scale up, the minimum viable product cannot be attained. Third very important aspect is unknown business model. That is very, very important. You are not aware about that, what is your whether you have worked on your business model canvas or not. You have justified all the 9 attributes of business model canvas, and whether you have worked on your business model canvas or not, whether you are aware about what is the business model and how you are going to earn out of it. If it's not, there is no clarity among the team, there's no clarity among all the stakeholders, or even in the founder, then too it will be again very tough task to, and it will be very tough to scale up your business, scale up your startup. So this is again, it will be challenge. You will not be able to attain the minimum viable product. So this is needed actually. And finally, the model found by iteration. If you have, suppose you are taking some, you are copying somebody's model, you have taken from somebody, and you are not able to, it's not your model. And suppose you have seen somebody's model and you have adopted the same model here. It can be sometime, it may be helpful sometime, but like we have seen the franchisee model people are doing. When somebody is starting their venture, they are selling the franchisee, and franchisees are also doing great. So this can be also possible, but in some cases, if you are just copying the model of somebody, you don't know the A to Z about the process and the model actually how it will work. Then again, it will be challenged, and you will not attain the real business. You will not attain the you're not able to attain upscale your business. So that is also a thing that we have to keep in mind. So major focus of founder is the minimum viable product. That how I am going to uh, earn, how I'm going to earn a lot in this ecosystem. So what I should do, I should know my customers need, I should know my customers liking, I should know my customers disliking, I must know the features of customer, the types of customers we have. I must know my business model, how this business model will work, and when I have to change it, and when I have to work more on it. That and how my business model canvas is justified. That also one have to keep in mind. And you should not copy from somebody. It should be your own, and you have to put your head more on your idea and execution of that. Then only you will reach at the minimum viable product, because scaling up business is a type, it gives a type of confidence to the owners, to the founders, and there will be less transition period, and then the real business will earn, they will earn a lot, and they will feel happy. So both are very very important and very connecting topics, the minimum viable product and lean startup. Both are through lean startups we can earn a lot, but if we are experimenting more and we are not able to convince the customers, we can also get lost, and we can also get suffer huge loss also. So there is no standard parameters, it is tailor made system business to business. It may be vary. In case of food industry it can be different, in case of IT it can be different, in case of agri sector it can be different, in case of like you are from the computer science department, there will be different setup and needs accordingly. So the lean startup standards always they are involved in evolving things rapidly, and they are actually innovators and risk bearers. But risk bearing is great thing, but you should take the calculated risk. Don't take unnecessary and risk which is going to put impact on your business, and you are going to suffer. So this thing also one have to keep in mind. So this is all from the lean startups and minimum viable product. So if you have any questions, you can talk to me and you can discuss. And the principles I have already discussed with you, that we have to keep in mind and remember it. The lean startup principles: first one, nail it, then scale it. Rapid hypothesis is needed, and for the customers, MVP, minimum viable product. If you are able to attain, then only you can survive. Only doing experiments and involving yourself in maximum into experiment will not work. So there should be proper scaling up model for the business, so that you can scale up your earning and you can survive. And then likewise, and don't we learn fast but we fail fast also. That is also one of the principles that in case of the startup. So students, those who are having any questions, they can ask. I have, madam, one more session, uh, and it is a physical session. So I need your time. Apurva madam, if any question is there, I can interact with the students and then I will move. Please. Any specific question with respect to lean startups and MVP?
Thank you very much, sir. The session was so interesting. And if
This is a
there is
very
any,
small session, because the two terms are very easy terms. Rest, it is all about the startups only. The the features and the attributes of startups will go like we have already. But lean startup, they are just they are focusing more and more on market, and as per the market need, they are developing their product, they are developing their ideas, and they are trying to cope up with the market. They are experimenting more. This is the only uniqueness of lean startups. And they are if they are succeeding, then the MVP will be good, they will be enjoying. Otherwise there can be huge loss also. So rest everything will be like normal startup only.
yes, sir. Thank you very much. And I request IT sir to please share the award of appreciation. Thank you so much, sir.